Be Samantha Walker. Ms. Walker, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On November 4th, 2024, an officer was dispatched to a family disturbance call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The complainant, a 15-year-old, stated that the defendant, her mother, assaulted her after they got into a verbal argument. The complainant stated the defendant displayed verbally aggressive behavior towards her, grabbed a hold of the complainant's left wrist, and said, "If you come near me, I'll beat your ass," and began to engage in a physical altercation with the complainant. The complainant stated the defendant, using both open hands, placed the complainant in a headlock, and the complainant felt pain. Both law enforcement and CPS records indicate a history of physical altercations and verbal altercations between the complainant and the defendant, and the officer observed video footage showing the defendant acting as the primary aggressor towards the complainant and observed a minor injury cut on the complainant's left arm.
So we have prior violence, any prior charges?
There's no prior
Any,
charges,
no
Your Honor.
prior injury to a child, felony charges?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you need to take all this stuff.
Child means 14 years or younger.
So she probably.
She's 15.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
No, Your Honor.
Don't. Now's not the time, ma'am. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they're going to use it against you. Guys, what do we do about contact? You know? Yeah, well, so Michael, I need your help. You know, this is a 15-year-old child. We have a history of violence allegedly between mom and daughter.
Yes, Judge.
Now we have an assault case against a 15-year-old. And according to what Alex says, there's a history of it. It's unacceptable.
Judge.
Do you have a lawyer, ma'am?
I'll be retaining a lawyer, but there's no history of violence between us.
You're calling for a Walker?
Yes.
Which Walker?
One Walker.
It's in custody.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So what my plan was, and I already spoke to my people about this, is we were going to check the offense report to see where the child was taken. Were they taken to CPS custody, to state custody? Was there some other guardian? Once we're aware of where the child is, we are going to be asking for a no contact order to be granted based off of the allegations of a history of
What about now?
violence.
Is there something that we can do now as far as finding out where the child is?
Well,
You know?
we're going to call CPS today and see if they're in state custody. The offense report also might indicate where it is. If not, we can call the officer and they should know.
Yeah, I'd like to, because I think it's serious. I mean, if we have a history of violence, I don't want that to happen anymore.
There's no,
I know that you're telling me no, but I have other people that are telling me differently.
I've never.
Okay, well, ma'am, don't. Now's not the time. But my primary concern is the protection of every single person in Harris County, bar none. That's it, especially if it's a child. And
I'm not a threat to my child, I promise
you
you.
are now charged with assault, ma'am, on that 15-year-old child.
I never assault.
Stop. Now's not the time. I'm just trying to tell you, if I find that there's a history of violence with the child, I'm going to order you not to have contact with this child.
I understand,
As it stands now,
but I promise there's no
I'm entering
history of
in called a
violence.
magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies EJ as a protected individual. You
I have
cannot,
to take her to appointments and stuff like that.
please listen. Okay, I know that you're trying to think of stuff to say,
No,
but
I'm
I
being
want you to
honest.
listen, because this is very important stuff. And if you don't hear it correctly, you do something to violate this court order, they're going to file additional charges against you. I'm entering in an order for protection for that 15-year-old child. She's now a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Technical Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. Typically, this also comes with a residential restriction that you're not to go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. You understand? Okay, I'm entering this order now. We will try to figure out about how we go from here, but my only concern is the protection of this child. To me, nothing else matters.
She's
I
protected.
know that you're telling me one thing, but the evidence will show what it shows, and that's going to point to whose side is correct. So for now, I'm just going to have them reach out to see where the child is and how we go forward. So for now, I'm going to have you sign a reset, and then we'll just have you take a seat in the jury box, please. Okay? You Jacqueline Allen?
Yes, sir.
Miss Allen, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail. I'm sorry, up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. It's elevated to that because of the family allegation or household allegation. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On September 20th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a family disturbance. Officers met with the complaining witness who stated he is 98% blind. Complainant said he's been in a dating relationship with the defendant for about 8 years. Complainant stated he got into a verbal altercation with the defendant and that a knife that was on the table earlier was no longer there. Complainant says the defendant told him, "If you come any closer, I'm going to stab you with the knife in your chest." Complainant stated he felt he was scared and felt fear. Complainant then locked himself in his room with the desk in protection for protection against the defendant.
Have you spoken to this person? Do you know if he wants to have contact with her?
No, Judge. I believe we've tried several times to get in contact, and as of I think this week, the number is no longer in service, so we've already put in a to-do for our investigator to try to
Got
find
it.
the complainant.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Wait a second. Tell me the threat again. I missed it. I must have zoned.
Defendant stated, "If you come any closer, I'm going to stab you with the knife." in your
Got it.
chest."
Okay. So yeah, Miss Allen, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm entering in now what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Antonio Hughes as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. Do you understand? Thank you. If you violate these conditions, the state can and will file additional charges against you. Violation of protective order, and things will go real sideways then. What do you do for a living, ma'am?
Okay.
What do you do for a living?
Okay, disability.
Okay. We will appoint you a lawyer today, ma'am. Do not leave until we figure out what's going on. I've already have to give you 2 PR bonds because that you've taken off on us. It's not going to happen again. If you take off on us, if you don't come back to court, you will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you mind giving an application, please? And then we'll have, well, let me see if I have one. I have one already. Don't worry about it. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. At this point, until I know that he wants to have contact with you, I'm ordering you not to have any contact with him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on.
She can come live here.
We need her to sign them up first.
She is. She's not.
Artavia Ellis.
Yes, sir.
Miss Ellis, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. I know you don't have one, but we're going to do probable cause first. Okay.
Yes, Judge. On November 8th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The complainant stated that he and the defendant had been dating for at least 2 years and stated that he and the defendant had been staying with each other at the defendant's apartment or his apartment. The complainant stated that on November 8th, 2024, The complainant stated that he was seated on the couch and the defendant became aggressive and punched the complainant on the right side of the face. And the complainant stated the defendant then jumped on him and put her burning cigarette on the right side of his face, leaving a mark and causing him to feel pain. The complainant stated that he told the defendant to leave, but she refused. The complainant was afraid and called 911. And the officer spoke to the defendant, who stated that she and the complainant had been dating for 3 years, and that she and the complainant had a verbal argument over a cheating issue in the living room. And the defendant stated that the complainant kept bothering her, accusing her of cheating, and kept following her around. The defendant stated that she then ashed the burning cigarette she was smoking on the complainant's face because the complainant used to get violent with her in the past. And the defendant stated that she did not punch or have any physical contact with the complainant.
Ms. Ellis, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal drugs, I'll put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? She has a prior assault of a family member. Is this the same complaining witness, guys?
No,
it's
Your Honor,
not.
it's a
It
different.
was my
complainant.
ex-husband.
We don't need your help, please. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. If you say something when you think it's going to hurt you, it may very well hurt you. If you think you're trying to help, just don't. I'm ordering you now not to have contact with this person. I'm entering in an order for protection that identifies London Renfro as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where he lives or where he works. Do you understand? That means you're not allowed to go within 200 feet of 10307 Dell Court in Missouri City. You cannot go within 200 feet of that address.
Not his address.
Okay. Until I know differently, you're not to go within 200 feet of that address. You know, we can work things out. My only and my primary concern, Ms. Ellis, is public safety. I will do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. If I have to put you in there kicking and screaming, crying and praying to whatever God there may be, I don't care. Do you understand? What do you do for a living?
I drive. I work for Amazon.
Do you have a Texas driver's license, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
I don't currently have a vehicle right now.
You said you're working, you're driving something. You have to have car
I drive for
insurance.
Amazon. I use their vehicle to deliver packages.
Okay.
So yes, I do have a driver's license.
How much money do you make a month?
Not much. I haven't worked in like a month. I've been having problems with my heart, so I haven't been at work lately.
Are you still earning an income?
As of a month, I haven't worked in like a month because I took an absence of leave because I've been dealing with my heart problems.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application, but I need to know everything about you. I need to know how much money you have at the bank, what your monthly income is. Don't just put zeros because I'm going to send it back to you. I need to know everything about you. And I'll look to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. Okay. Do not leave until you sign all of our bond conditions. Otherwise, I'll issue a warrant for your arrest. And remember, no alcohol, no illegal drugs. That includes smoking marijuana. If you smoke marijuana, okay, please.
It's everything.
All right, Judge, can I just come over